Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing, bitches banging, 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 banging. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing like bang, bang, oh, bang, bang, bitch, nigga, bang, bang, oh, bang, bang, oh.
Bitch, yeah. Woo.
Hate me now, enemies gon' hate me now. Enemies gon' hate me now, enemies gon' hate me now. Hate me now, enemies. Busters got some mana, but I handle that, so hate me now. Got the Louis Slugger, you better cover when I hit a foul. You better be so quick to get it here when the pistol show. All my niggas with me creeping slow, and we on that blow. Told the two that I use, searching for an easy man. Demon in me wakes, now I shake and don't feel okay. Yeah, I'm terrified in my mind, so corrupted too. Feel so blizzo, hizzo, off that snizzo, but still keep it smooth. Evil prim, stay so blitz, busy down with Psycho Mike. Scheming, leaning all throughout the night, down in Metro Height. Bitch, you getting sprayed from grenade when I pulled up in. Gets the P, here with me, and we always throwing in. Waking, shaking in my bed, hating leaves you where y'all dead. Don't you rest so tears up, call your blizz up when I'm on my man. I face so much crime, stay inside. I have on my mind. Please don't shoot your kids on, send you his on, get your miss online. Enemies so close to me, especially gon' hate me now. Motivated jealousy, but still I elevate somehow. Violent face all in my space, deep inside you hating me. Take that loaded Glock 19 and kill that kind with courtesy. Enemies so close to me, especially gon' hate me now. Motivated jealousy, but still I elevate somehow. Violent face all in my space, deep inside you hating me. Take that loaded Glock 19 and kill that kind with courtesy. Hate me now, enemies gon' hate me now. Hate me now, enemies.
You hate me now, nigga, damn, I thought we was cool. You hate me now, I don't get you.
You mad at me now, but all I do is laughing. Then chop a bullet, split him up like he a fraction. He run up on me, think it's chicken, now he past tense. Yes, I am evil, Prince, but also Trey, so blast him. I catch him loafing, I'ma up the gun and let it bust. I got them niggas in the car ready to shoot shit up. You mention me, boy, I'm a killer, best not test your luck. Yo, bitch, a groupie, all up in my DMs tryna fuck. These niggas lying in they songs, you know they capping. I'm on the block, I put in work, you niggas slacking. My nigga get jammed up and then we go and post bail. But if your nigga run up, we gon' send his ass to hell. Ain't have a ruler, kept a Ruger when I was in school. I'm hitting ops with this stick.
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? What's happening? MD checking in once again. MD checking in once again. Hey, I'm hauling ass down the road, y'all. Y'all make more of these type of videos, and that's what I'm gonna do. So shout out to everybody that's gonna watch later on. Shout out to, per usual, Mac 25, Twin Pyramid. Shout out to the TFP crew, Van Cat, Ricardo, and the part timer. Mike is partially right. That's how we gonna do it. What's up with y'all, man? How y'all feeling this Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. How y'all feeling this Tuesday, man? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. I was supposed to start at 1:35. All right, I think I'm back. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me or not. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me or not. I'm in a bad little spot down here near Macon, Georgia. Let me know if I'm still spotty. Yeah, let me know if I'm still spotty, man. Yeah, I'm in a little bad little area, man, in the boonies. Okay, Twin said we back. All right, bet. Let me know if I chop back up again. Let me know if I chop back up again. So, again, like I was saying, I'm still on fuel watch. I'll be down. I got to make a fuel stop today. I'll let y'all know what the price is when I get down there. We holding steady right now at 539.9. Let's see if it's going to be any change in price today. I haven't checked the market or anything, so I don't even know if barrel of oil done went up or down. I don't even know yet. I guess I'll see when I get down there. But yeah, reports came out today. A top official in Iran was eliminated via airstrikes. Ali Larijani, who is the Secretary for National Security in Iran, some people say, he said still high as hell. Hey, I don't doubt it, man. I don't doubt it. As long as you keep that old mantra to heart, Trump low prices, Kamala high prices, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just remember that before you start pumping. Say it one time. Say Trump low prices, Kamala high prices, and it'll make the experience feel a lot better. It'll make the experience feel a lot better. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. But yeah, like I was saying, Ali Larijani allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because, you know, it hasn't been confirmed by the Islamic Republic or anybody in RGC yet. At least I haven't seen it. I've been kind of late on the news cycle today. Ali Larijani was eliminated. Some people argue that, you know, he's actually been the person calling the shots in Iran from a strategic sense with this ongoing war. Some people argue that. Some people believe that this is a damaging blow. A damaging blow to Iran. Now, again, all of this is speculative at the end of the day. Don't nobody know what's what. I believe, this is me personally, I believe military leadership within the IRGC are the ones calling the shots. It's also been speculated that Mojtaba Khomeini, the newly crowned supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, is currently in Moscow receiving medical treatment after the initial strike on Iran that killed his whole family. Some even saying that he had a leg blown off in the initial strike. Again, all of this is fog of war shit. We don't know what's going on with what until the smoke clears and the dust settles. I think all reports coming from Israel or Iran you can take with a grain of salt. All reports. That's just what it is. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the people that are strategizing from a military aspect when it comes to Iran are ultimately the ones calling the shots. That's just a fact. Larijani, he had his purpose from a, I guess you would say, media and strategic perspective to a certain degree. But I don't think Larijani was the one calling shots. I think the military brass, the ones that are still left within the RGC, are the ones calling the shots right now. And I think it's been like that for a while. Even when Ali Khamenei was around. He was a symbolic figure, nothing more, nothing less. Because despite all of this, Bahrain, Kuwait, Iraq, the Saudis, they still getting like smashed by Shahed drones, even at this very hour. Even at this very hour. I reported yesterday, Trump sees himself in a strain right now. Because even though the perception is he's winning militarily, has the perception of air superiority, demolishing tactical targets, so on and so forth, the perception is, you know, from a broader sense, he ain't winning shit. Because the objective is not clear. It just ain't. Now, me and you can say, well, the objective is oil at the end of the day, but I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough for me and you, at least. You know? Ultimately, what I'm waiting to see is what's going to happen with these 2,500 Marines, this amphibious attack group. What's going to happen when they get on the stage? What's going to happen? I don't know. So as it stands right now, when it comes to this whole Iran conflict, I'm indifferent to it. Because I'm like the old Elmo meme, just got my hands up in the air, surrounded by the flames. Because that's all I can really do right now. Like, that's it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, due to an oil blockade to the country of Cuba, you got a complete and total countrywide blackout going on in Cuba right now. I'm talking about countrywide blackout And I wanted to stick on this for a while because I want to talk about it from a broader lens, broader view. You know, people in America, you know, they got some nerve talking about ideological views and, you know, whether it's on one side of the spectrum or the other side, it really don't matter. They got some nerve trying to proclaim this ideological view and you know, a false sense of oppression and a false sense of nationalism and all these different viewpoints and perspectives and ideologies, right, that divide the country. Then you got another whole subsect of people that are from immigrant stock. They're from immigrant stock. Let me preface that. That carry on the traits of their forefathers and foremothers based on their experience, and then superimpose that to some type of ultra nationalist viewpoint of Americanism. I say Americanism in the sense of almost like a fascist interpretation of America, right? It's ultra nationalism. You got a certain subsection of people that do that shit, and they come from immigrant stock. To give us some examples, the Cubans of South Florida that come from an actual communist regime in Cuba and was given a second chance at life via the Reagan administration. Now, albeit the Cubans can actually tell you what communism looked like. An ultra-nationalist that was born and bred in America can't tell you what the shit looked like. They don't know. I don't know. All I can do is give you a contrarian view based on the opposition of what communism is. That's all I can do. But a Cuban can actually give you a detailed account through lived experience. Through lived experience. In a modern sense, the Venezuelans, you know, a quasi-communist regime where their vote was suppressed and not given a chance at any sort of regime change from the inner workings of body politics. They can tell you from a first-hand account what communism and autocracy look like. And they do it from, again, from an ultra-nationalist, quasi-fascist lens. They could tell you. Another modern example would be the Iranians. The Iranians can show you what theocracy looked like. The Iranians that live here in America, they can show you what an actual theocracy looked like. And they can reverse the outlook from an ideological perspective from an ultra nationalist Americanism lens. They can do that. That's why most of the ones of immigrant stock that come from those type of regimes tend to vote Republican. But the real Americans like me and you, the ones that understand the ideology from a party perspective, now this is the other side of the spectrum. The ones that can see it from a party perspective, i.e. the Republicans, knowing the tenets of republicanism, one, nation building, garnering certain groups, and boasting popularity of said party to these groups through neoconservative ideal, getting them under the ground. And this is where I come in, because I hold these tenets as well. To a lesser degree these days, but I still hold them. You know, showing these subjugated groups a broad view of what civil liberty and freedom looks like, only to give them a false sense of hope via a party policy. You know, that's a whole nother argument, but it's true. So with people like the Cubans, with people like the Iranians in America, people like the Venezuelans in America, to a lesser degree, people like the Indians, the South Asians, where we do the brain drain on a country and prop up their that country's best and brightest, and give them a false definition of individualism, which is rugged individualism, you know, the old Woodrow Wilson moniker, and so on and so forth. Same to a lesser degree with like far Eastern Asia. All of these groups tend to lean toward Republican ideals based upon what the party policy of Republicans are, and it being contrasted to real life experiences of these people within their own country's borders, and it being passed down to the next generation of first generation immigrant born in the United States, birthright citizenship Americans. It's usually passed down. So with the situation that we got in Cuba right now, it's just another, you know, I guess you would say, slice of the Hegelian dialectic. You create the problem, which is the blockade of oil that's needed for the electrical infrastructure of the country. And ultimately, Trump is going to present a solution. And it's going to give a false perception of Trumpism and under the guise of neoconservatism, because ultimately that's what it is, for MAGA maniacs who believe that the days of neoconservatism is over. I mean, Trump done proved time and time again that it's not. With the Cuba situation, with the Iran situation, with the Venezuela situation, so on and so forth. And he's going to bolster the numbers of Cubans who believe in this false dichotomy of neoconservative nation building, giving a second lot at life to a subjugated group who were actually being subjugated by the very entity that's now propping you up. Through the blockade of oil. You know, I'm all for sovereignty of other nations. Don't get it twisted. I guess if you want to put me in the America First pile in that regard, so be it. I believe every country has the right to govern itself the way it wants to govern, but also the people have the right to rebel. I think that's a distinctive human right. I do. I don't think that it's up to another entity to try to nudge the situation. I mean, merely all you got to do is give the example. America is the shining light. Despite what if people want to believe that shit or not, America is the shining light to what freedom is. Even when it's not equal toward all. And it's not. I ain't like ashamed to admit that. As a full-blooded American and individualist, towing the lines of libertarianism, I ain't ashamed to admit that. I know it. But it's my obligation, I believe, it's my obligation to make people understand what you're fighting for is a profound definition of the freedom that you have. Because everybody know my position. I don't fight against government. I think government is a inanimate object. Who wields government is the problem. I don't get mad at my government. I get mad at the people that wields the power of government. Two totally different things. I believe the Constitution in its rawest form is the ultimate way to govern the world, to be honest with you. Just being honest. But a lot of people, you know, instead of hating the player, they hate the game, if that makes sense. They want to throw the whole damn game away. Instead of making sure that you have proper representation on the board to play the game. And I think that's a fundamental issue when it comes, especially with black folk. I mean, hell, that's really all I can talk about because I'm black. So when we look at these other groups and how they gain power as a voting bloc, it's through real life experience, just like Black America. Our power as a voting bloc is based on real life experience here in America. That's why, you know, I don't trip when it comes to reasonings behind black people voting the way they do in elections. I don't trip on that. I can disagree with it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, certain tropes as being on the Democratic plantation. You know, being called a coon or a sellout based on long-standing history that is supplanted within the party that gives us particular civil liberties and rights. Like, how I'm a trip on that? And then turn around believing that sheer numbers alone is going to give us said power. That ain't how politics work, folks. I'm sorry, this is not. It's not how politics work. I can't show up with 10 niggas and think that's going to be enough to put myself in the crap game. No, I got to put money down. Got to put money down. It's just a fact. And I have to formulate a coalition based on shared experience. and shared interests, so on and so forth. You know, politics from an etymological standpoint is compromise. We're going to have to sit down at a table and brainstorm and see what's what, so we can ultimately come to an agreement as a whole to formulate a policy platform. Then you got to be willing to support, based on the parameters of the game, a candidate that's going to be able to amplify said policy platform. That's just a fact. Niggas don't want to do that part for some odd reason. They just want to complain all day and you know, as a block, you know, be a disgruntled employee. That's why I said a lot of MAGA people, if I'm gonna take it back to them, they ain't nothing but disgruntled Democrats. That's all. The body politic as a whole, yeah. Your vote is important, but your leverage is just as important. The block and how they vote is part of that leverage, but it's more to it than that. You know, and from a candidate perspective, it's about how you can pander to whatever block you're trying to get in order to take you over the top. It's been like that since time immemorial. That's part of the game. But you got to do it the smart way. You know, you can't be taken advantage of. A lot of these other migrant groups, they've been taken advantage of. You know, you can say the same about the black voting bloc, but the black voting bloc got a lot more power than you think, bro. A lot more power than you think. We'll be discussing that this week on TFP regarding the James Tallarico and James Crockett situation. Because ultimately, you know, after the dust has settled on that, I wholeheartedly believe that she didn't bolster the power of the black vote. She just didn't do it. And even with James Tallarico bolstering the white moderate and the Latino vote, if we're going to look at it number for number, it still wouldn't have been enough if Crockett would have did her job. Only a little over 2 million people voted in the Democratic primary. She could have easily won that. Easily. So all I'm saying to you is this. Understand your worth as a voter. Understand your power as a bloc. And understand your purpose as having a proper policy platform. Look no further than what's going on in Cuba right now. Look no further. The whole country is without power, and yet still they're beholden to the neocon strategy of doing politics. How? Trump is the one that imposed the blockade of oil in the first fucking place. You know, and even that is an optical illusion, because I can almost guarantee you the majority of the country, if we're going to look at it from the other side of the aisle, the majority of the country don't fuck with Trump at all. It's the people that have the distinct honor of coming upon American soil and viewing the spoils of what it is to be free. The haves and the have-nots. The same goes for places like India. The same goes for places like Venezuela. So on, so forth, et cetera, et cetera. That's just what it is. So I just wanted to come up and say that, man. I think, you know, first dealing with the Iran situation, the Secretary of National Security being allegedly now, all this is allegedly being eliminated. They showed a video. When I saw a certain news clip, they were showing Iranians in some city somewhere. It might have been New York. It was somewhere. Celebrating, cheering in the streets. Again, it goes back to, it's almost like a lottery. Let me show you the neoconservative way of life. Let me save you from the grasp of theology. Let me save you from the grasp of communism. And again, I'm a staunch anti-communist. This coming from me now. But even within my staunch anti-communist view, I don't know what communism looked like because I ain't never experienced it. All I can do is compile research and study. And, you know, do those type of things. Could I put myself in the shoes of a Cuban or an Iranian or Venezuelan and say that I wouldn't do the same thing? I can't say that because I don't know. I simply don't know. But I can say as an American, I could see the play. And the play has been ran for a long time, like a real long time. The play is the same play that you say, and in certain instances I say, that the Democrats use when it comes to asylum seekers here in the United States. Same play. Same play. What do I need to do to get your vote? And how do I do it with the least amount of effort? You know what I'm saying? How do I do it with the least amount of effort? And it's as simple as that. You know, in some cases, going back to what we're going to discuss on Thursday, in some cases, I believe that this is just my opinion, and we'll, you know, me and Venkat will talk about it. I believe there are instances where the existential threat is greater than the commonality of what we think the policy position should be. And I think we're living in this moment right now. You know, we can argue about policy like later on. But ultimately, it's to a lot of people detriment. Look no further than the Crockett case. So, like I said, I just wanted to come up and say that. Again, when I stop a little bit later on today at the fuel pump, I'll let y'all know the price. Well, if it's the same, I won't. But I'll let y'all know if it was a change in price. I'll make a short about that. I got another little quick video I want to do. I might try to do that tonight. We'll see. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny. So, with that being said, hey, look, man, more news. Oh, one more, and I just saw this like a few minutes before I went live. Apparently, there was a top. Matter of fact, it was the director of counterintelligence in the intelligence department just quit. And he quit based on the goings on with the situation in Iran. Fascinating. Fascinating. To say the least. To say the least. But anyway, when I get more information on that, man, hell, I might do another live on that. The house of cards is falling, y'all. It's falling fast. Hey, with that being said, man, shout out to everybody that's watching the video. Shout out to everybody that's going to watch later. Again, Take Fist Politics, episode 9, Saving the SAVE Act. We'll be talking about the SAVE Act. That'll be the leading story. As well as James Crockett and Jasmine Crockett, James Tallarico, and other news items. Be on the lookout for that Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Hey, with that, I say peace, y'all.
Yeah.